So I watched Triage X when it originally aired, thinking it was nothing special, and to be honest, that's to be expected. The show is an action harem, so it's just filled the gap of insert ecchi anime for this season. But the show also has a lot of action, and it's very similar to something like High School of the Dead or High School DxD, but it's more High School of the Dead because of its serious tone and its manga being written by Shoji Shoto, who was the illustrator for High School of the Dead, that has been dead for the past 3 years. So it was interesting to see that one of the minds behind the now dead series has branched off on its own to kind of make a name for himself, even if a lot of the elements are reminiscent of High School of the Dead, including of course the character designs. I wanted to see what the show had to offer. So the story and characters are surprisingly easy to explain because the story doesn't develop any of them past the main character's backstory. The character I am talking about the most is Arashi Mikami, who is a socially awkward high school student and is part of the vigilante group Black Label. Black Label is a group that's contracted for specific reasons to kill what they consider the cancers of society. This group is kept unknown to outsiders behind the cover-up of being a hospital, which regularly functions as a normal one should. Along with the other members in the group, Arashi has a devastating past that haunts him, where after a terrorist attack, Arashi was injured and forced to take an organ transplant of a friend who died in the attack. Then we have Mikoto Kiba, who is Irashi's partner in Black Label and is his senior in high school. She joined after the motorcycle accident that killed her brother but left her in a critical condition. Then there's Orihi Nishida, who is a middle schooler slash idol slash demolitions expert for Black Label. There isn't much story for her in the anime other than the fact that she lives alone. We also have Seo Hitsugi, who is the main nurse of the hospital, and yep, you guessed it, has a troubling past that makes her the best at close combat. She also can go completely berserk and kill anyone in her path potentially if not handled well, and she handles miniguns and light machine guns. Then we have Yuko Sagiri, who is the katana wielding head doctor of the hospital, whose hair turns white while fighting, along with her partner and childhood friend Miki Tetsurugi, who is an expert chemist and sniper. She is also the anesthesiologist for the hospital. Then we have the founder of Black Label, Masamune Mochizuki. So after this quick summary of the characters and their backstory, I'm sorry to tell you this, but that's all there is to it. It's a bunch of people who consider themselves to be reborn after being saved by Masamune and want to use that second chance to change society for the better. As for the people they consider the cancer to society, they're just plain unlikable people. Most of them are the corrupt rich kids of huge business and government officials who take what they want when they want it, like kidnapping girls to hold for blackmail, selling or smuggling illegal contraband like drugs or weapons, along with sex trafficking of women, so they can drug them and satisfy their own needs. Although the show never actually takes itself seriously and the show feels like it's trying to be edgy, it's almost screaming, we have sex and violence, we are so cool. So I guess if you want to seem like you're hardcore, you would probably want to watch this. The show also never actually felt like it got started. It's like waiting for a racer to move because you know who the guy is, you know his purpose for being there and what he's working for, but he hasn't moved at all. You want to know whether or not he wins or loses to see where he'll go from there, and that's where you'll be with the show and its manga. They fight one corrupt guy to the next, but they never find the most threatening of the bunch to potentially push the plot forward, along with the story of the characters. Sure, there's also the development of feelings towards Arashi, since he's in this harem of beautiful, well-endowed women, but they never go past the point of cliche, I don't like you, you idiot. Then because I know you're asking, the etchiness in this anime is slightly above average. Many of the scenes of course get you going, but like I said, it's the same realm of High School of the Dead and DxD, kicking it up a notch during steamy scenes, whether it's edgy or normal scenes, but isn't as good as either. So not much to say about the etchiness, but what about the action? Well, you're in luck, cause the action has its moments. The close combat and gunfights are pretty good actually, fitting along with the music. All I can say is that you'll get your fill of action, so there's that. So all in all, what do I think about the series? Well, it's a decent anime that has sex and violence, that wears the vicious of High School of the Dead in a sort of bold way, while also reminding us that since the person who made the manga was the illustrator of High School of the Dead, that the ship has long sailed and may never be revisited again. Or maybe we'll get a Berserk where the guy literally comes back from the grave taking the characters off the ship. But altogether, Triage X is an average action harem that will give you your fill of the genre, even if it leaves a bittersweet taste.